Good day, class. So for today's lesson, we will discuss volcano and its formation. Volcanoes. Volcanoes are some of the most interesting features on Earth. They are basically ruptures in Earth's crust, which allow magma to flow upwards. So if you want to understand volcanoes, you have to understand plate tectonics. The surface of our planet is not one big piece. It's broken into 17 major rigid tectonic plates that move one in relationship to the other. These tectonic plates float on a hotter, softer layer in the Earth's crust mantle. When that very hot and viscous layer becomes up towards the surface, it's called magma. Volcanoes on Earth are generally located in areas where the tectonic plates diverge or converge with each other. It's easy to understand if you look at a world map with the plate tectonics and volcanoes, as you can see in our image. This represents active volcanoes, considerably the plate tectonics and the ring of fire. So Philippines belong to the ring of fire in the Pacific. Basically, volcanoes only form where there is a way for magma to migrate towards the surface, such as a plate discontinuity or an area where the crust is very thin. There are also called hotspots, areas where the underlying mantle is much hotter than in other areas, either due to mantle plumes or lithospheric extension. Volcanic activity. Volcanic activity is another constructive factor in the formation of landforms. Volcanic action involves the release of molten magma, or the melted rock, from deep below the Earth's surface. When the molten magma is spewed into the Earth's surface, it is called a lava. When lava cools off on the Earth's surface, they solidify and may form land features. This action is responsible for formation of many spectacular landforms. Some examples of landforms created by volcanic action include lava domes, plateau, and calderas. So in addition to this, magma is a hot molten rock that builds up in pressure and explodes from the volcano as lava. The way a volcano erupts and the materials make up the magma and lava of a particular volcano have a lot to do with the formation of the volcanic landforms, such as craters, calderas, lava domes, and lava plateaus. It is important to know the relationship between volcanoes and mountains. A volcano is only a vent, a hole in Earth's crust, through which lava spews out. This means a volcano alone is not a mountain, becomes a mountain when the spewed out lava solidifies around the vent to form a hard rocky mound around the vent. So in addition to this, a volcanic vent is an opening exposed on Earth's surface where volcanic material is emitted. All volcanoes contain a central vent underlying the summit crater of the volcano. Landforms formed from volcanic activity will depend on the kind of volcano it is or material it produces. Here are a few important examples of landforms from volcanic eruption. So we have the plateau. Plateau is an elevated portion of the land with a flat surface, as you can see in our pictures, and often with steep slopes or cliffs at the one or more sides. It is nicknamed tableland because it looks like a table. They are very common and believed to cover a third of the total land area of the planet Earth. So why are plateaus flat on top? The reason behind is a dissected plateau forms as a result of upward movement in the Earth's crust. The uplift is caused by the slow collision of tectonic plates. Soft rock often erodes away on the top of a plateau, and many plateaus are therefore topped with a hard, durable surface called cap rock. Plateaux occur in almost every part of the world and are one of the most common landforms. One major difference between a plateau and a mountain is that a plateau is flat at the top. The Table Mountain in Cape Town in South Africa, as you can see in our image, and the Tibetan Plateau in Central Asia are two great examples of plateau. A plateau can be formed by tectonic activity. Converging forces, meaning the forces involved in this kind of geographical features involves compression in the Earth's crust can cause plates to be pushed slowly upwards. Extreme heat builds up can also force plate movement upwards. A plateau formed in this way is called a tectonic plateau. Okay, so a plateau is a flat, elevated landform that rises sharply above the surrounding area. On at least one side, plateaus occur in every continent and take up a third of the Earth's land. They are one of the four major landforms along with mountains, plains, and hills. Plateaus are important because of the following reason. Plateaus are storehouses of minerals. They have rich deposits of minerals. So we have also a volcanic plateau, also known as a flood basalt. It's another type of plateau, regular and repeated flow of highly viscous lava from volcanoes can slowly build up and spread over many miles and solidify to form plateau. Sometimes this can involve many small volcanoes. So the difference between a plateau and a volcanic plateau is a normal plateau or a plateau surrounded by mountains on all sides. It is called intermontane plateau. Wherein, on the other hand, volcanic plateau are produced by the lava which flows down from a volcanic eruption. Caldera. Caldera is the landform that exists after the structural support for a volcano has weakened and the surface of the volcano has collapsed. If enough magma is expelled from a volcano, the walls of the volcano collapse in on themselves and what remains is the caldera, sort of a sinkhole. So, in addition to this, a caldera is a large depression form, meaning that involves a confined stress or just like a sinkhole. So when a volcano erupts and collapses during a volcanic eruption, magma present in the magma chamber underneath the volcano is expelled, often forcefully. When the magma chamber empties, the support that the magma had provided inside the chamber disappears. Just because a volcano has collapsed and formed a caldera doesn't mean that all the activity has stopped. There may still be a magma present under the caldera. So in our figure, it represents the Apulaki caldera here in the Philippines, a volcanic crater with a diameter of 150 kilometers or 93 miles in equivalent, making it the world's largest caldera. It is located within the Benham Rice, as you can see in our image, or the popularly known as the Philippine Rice, and was discovered in 2019 by Jenny Ann Barreto, a Filipina marine geophysicist. So how dangerous is Apulaki caldera? The name Apulaki means giant lord, in Filipino and is also the name of the god of sun and war in some pantheons in Philippine mythology and the indigenous Philippine folk religions. Just because a volcano has collapsed and formed a caldera like Apulaki, then it does not mean that all activity has stopped there. There may still be magma present under the caldera. So what is the importance of caldera? Caldera essentially is a massive crater that indicates a large historical eruption. So that is why it is important to understand calderas. First of all, their formation can be extremely violent and result the most massive explosive eruption in Earth's history. So let us now proceed to the types of volcanoes. So we have the first one, the Cinder Cone. Cinder Cone volcano is the simplest, most common type and has characteristics cone shape. It forms when a volcanic cinder, blobs or congealed lava, basaltic composition, come out from a single vent. It has explosive eruption caused by gas rapidly expanding and escaping from the molten lava that comes out like a fountain. The lava cools quickly and falls as cinders that build up around the vent, forming a cone shape, leaving a crater at the summit, as you can see in our image. So these volcanoes can be as high as 100 to 400 meters. So in addition to this, cinder cones are characterized by a circular cone of hardened lava, ash and tephra around a single vent, or those fragmented ash and lava build in a cone around the vent. As they cool and harden, cinder cones are often found on the flanks of larger volcanoes and have steep sides and with a large summit crater. So we have the second type volcano. We have the composite volcano. It is also referred to as stratovolcanoes, and it they may sometimes be preceded or followed by explosive activity. So based on their frequency of eruption, volcanoes can be of three types: active volcano, dormant, and extinct volcanoes. So you have the first one, active volcanoes. Those are pertaining to have a recent history of eruptions, just like Mount Taal. They are likely to erupt again. We have also the dormant volcano. It's an active volcano that is not erupting but supposed to erupt again. We have also the extinct volcano. Has not had an eruption for at least 10,000 years and is not expected to erupt again in a comparable time scale of the future.